Good morning, Chris. It's 8:33 and I've been up for 16 minutes. I am still sick. In fact, I'm probably sicker than I was last time I made a video, but actually I'm better rested, so I feel better anyway. I think the problem I was having before was that I was drinking way too many caffeinated beverages, and so I stopped doing that and suddenly I'm sleeping better. Even if it is harder for me to get through the day. The first thing I thought of when I woke up this morning was rope, and so I shall talk for 2 minutes about rope starting now. Rope is an extremely useful thing. It is made up of various fibers of whatever type you like, twisted or braided, to make a strong, tense, and very useful substance for binding or connecting things. As you, Chris, are an Eagle Scout, I'm sure you are quite familiar with the various and sundry applications of rope in the fields of camping, fishing, climbing, murder, and other things. But do you know when rope was invented? I bet you don't, because I don't either, and neither does the internet, because rope has been around for a really long time. It seems to have been used in prehistoric times for hunting and fishing and murder, but we don't know the name of the inventor. I like to imagine that his name is Seymour Rope, and that he lived in Australia. He was an Aboriginal Australian whose name was Seymour Rope. It sounds Aboriginal Australian, doesn't it? He invented this as a gift for his daughter, who had just turned 18 and was going to be married off to the prince of a neighboring tribe of Aboriginal Australians. And it was traditional for Aboriginal Australians to invent an extremely useful thing and give it to their daughter when it came time for their daughter to be married off, so that they would be able to use it in the house and so that they could please their husband. And so he invented rope, and this rope ended up being one of the most useful inventions ever. And so we all remember Seymour Rope and take our hats off to him, which I would do if I were wearing a hat. And I've now been talking for over 2 minutes. It's almost been 2.5 minutes, hasn't it? Wow. This has been a good time, hasn't it? Chris, I think it would be really cool if, in addition to talking for 2 minutes about the first thing we think of when we wake up, we also write a haiku on the topic. I shall start us off. It is so useful for climbing and for murder. Let's celebrate rope. Chris, I'm not saying we should do this every time, but for your next video I'd like to see you also compose a haiku. And if any of the cheese whales can compose a haiku about rope, or a haiku about the first thing they thought of when they woke up this morning, then they could please leave it in the comments. Give me haiku! In case you don't know what a haiku is, it's a poem consisting of unrhymed lines. The first one has to be 5 syllables long, the second one has to be 7 syllables long, and the third one has to be 5 syllables long. But you probably already knew that, or you could have Googled it because you're on the internet right now, aren't you? So that's about it for today, and I will see you tomorrow, won't I?